Good morning. It is 10:04 a.m. on Tuesday, August 26th, 2025. Call this meeting of the Wichita County Commissioners Court to order. If everyone would please stand, Commissioner Beecham will give our invocation.
Pray with me, please. Our good and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you today as humble people, Lord. Lord, I pray that you would guide our thoughts and actions. And Lord, we have some big decisions to make for the future of our county today. Lord, I just pray your guiding hand would be on all that we do this morning, Lord. Lord, we pray for our first responders that are out in harm's way for us, Lord, that your protecting hand would be on them. Lord, I pray for us that are traveling today, Lord, that your hand of protection will be on us too, Lord. Lord, just be with us, guide us, and direct us in all that we do. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join us for the pledge to the U.S. flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the pledge to the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Everyone be seated. No unexpected presentation, correct? Okay. All right, it is currently 10:05. We will open up the public comment. Remind folks, public comments need to be limited to 5 minutes or less. The Commissioners Court cannot take action on any item brought up during public comment. Do we have any public comments?
Judge, Commissioners, I know you know who I am, but for the record, I'm Kirk Wolf. I'm the Chief Juvenile Probation Officer and Director of the CSCD. And thank you for your attention this morning. I just want to take this opportunity to thank some people, some county departments that work with me and help my departments out so very much. First, I'd like to thank Tanya Rushing in the HR department, because I have 75 employees. And that's there's a lot of needs, and she is always so responsive, her and her staff, to help me in my department. I very much appreciate her. And you know, she used to be my boss at one time. She did. Thank you, Tanya.
You learned
and
well.
Now the HR director, she's everyone's boss.
she is. And I also want to thank Matt Davis and his crew. With my departments in juvenile probation and CSCD, we receive a lot of money from the state, and we certainly appreciate that, but there's always a lot of rules that go with receiving all that money from the state. And Matt and his crew really help us navigate the rules for all the different grants. It's millions of dollars. And so Matt has been so easy to work with, and we communicate very well, and I meet with him in all the preparation for the budget, and he's really been such a benefit, and I appreciate him so very much. And thank you, Matt.
Thank you
so much. And then, you know, Ricky Sykes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the maintenance director, Ricky Sykes, and I have a facility. My departments have 3 buildings, including a detention center, and there's a lot of needs in these 3 buildings, including the detention center. And Ricky and his crew are so attentive. And I'll tell you, one time we were having a state audit. TJJD was coming and doing their annual inspection of the detention center, and when they come in there, they turn on every water fountain, they flush every toilet. It's very thorough when they come in there. And so they came in there, and one of the water fountains in the cells was not working properly, and they write all this down. They do, seriously. And so we called over to maintenance, and maintenance had it fixed before they left. And they were so impressed. And they looked at me and they said, "Wow, how do you do that?" I said, "No, it was fixed before they left." Here recently, we're going through some renovations in the detention center with some of our cells, and Ricky has investigated. He found this product because we had a problem with the cinder blocks that were deteriorating, and that was causing a problem. Ricky found a product and someone to apply it for we've done our first 5 rooms. But as typical Ricky, they do all this and they say, we're done. And Ricky goes in and goes, no, you're not. No, you're not. And he goes in there and says, this needs to be done to the detail. And Ricky and his staff, I just cannot tell you the needs that I have with all that you do for me in my various departments. Now next I want to thank Sheriff Duke. The probation departments, we may call on him and his department maybe more than any other department in the county. His deputies have been at our service, I can't tell you multiple times, in detention when we have serious incidents that happen over there and we call for their assistance. And I've talked to Sheriff Duke and I've talked to Chief Rutledge at 10 o'clock at night, and I've called Will and said, hey, I need your help to do this. And Will has, in a matter, no joke, my staff will call me back in a matter of less than 5 minutes and say, they're here, they've got it taken care of. Sheriff Duke, you have protected my officers out in the field. Your deputies have been there to assist us. And we go into some difficult places. And his deputies have been there to assist us for the many, many years. And I've worked with you for almost the 39 years that I've been here. And you've been here longer than me. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the service that you have helped me in all my departments. At the CSCD, we have difficult circumstances that happen in the office, and his deputies are there for us over at probation, out in the field. Anytime I've ever needed his assistance, it was immediate. And I just want to thank you for your service to Wichita County, for all the help that you've done to the adult probation department, the juvenile probation department, and all those that we serve. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Kirk.
Kirk, we want to thank you for bringing millions of dollars of stuff. Let's keep that up. That's a good thing.
All right, who wants to follow that? Public comment.
I'll have a small
Here, here.
comment. Had a very successful Hotter Hill 100 again this year. The numbers were up slightly over last year. I think this was probably the most injury-free year that I can remember. I think we only transported 5 people to the hospital, and of those, none of them were serious. So very, very successful year. Weather was perfect.
Yeah. Any other public comment this morning?
Judge, I have one.
Okay.
So recently, last week, we had discussed Sheriff Duke's eventual retirement here at the end of the month. I know that's to be discussed later on this morning. I just would like to say that our office has went out there and conducted an asset audit on all of the vehicles and various equipment with Sheriff Duke, with Chief Rutledge, Chief McFerrin, and their staff, and they have been very easy to work with, and we appreciate all their assistance while we get through all of those and work on cleaning up their asset inventory.
Thank you.
And we will bring that to court here in a couple of weeks to go through and then to take any action needed to clean that up.
Okay. Good deal.
Y'all have a lot of stuff.
Yes.
A lot of stuff at the
It's all
asset.
inventory property, everything's there.
There's a lot of stuff.
I have one final comment, just to remind folks, we will have our public hearing on the adoption of the tax rate and budget at 6 p.m. on Thursday, September 4th, here in this very room. So, hope to see you there. It'll be exciting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Judge, may I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
If I come here, this is gonna be official, so I'll get up and over here. First off, I'd like to say I appreciate this court, and I know all of y'all pretty much personally. And we thank y'all for everything y'all done for the sheriff's office. I know in the past, in my career as sheriff for the 17 years, it hasn't always been roses in this courtroom with certain people. But I just know that what we had to do for the sheriff's office is what my duty was to do, is to do the things we need to have and get done. You know, sometimes there were some pretty contentious moments in here where could have been a moment where somebody would have been dragged out of here and in handcuffs. But that didn't happen, thank goodness, because it'd be really nasty on YouTube. Everybody watches it, they get more likes. But working with Kirk and where'd Kirk go? Back in the days before I think I was a sergeant back in those days.
Yes.
He had some of the most unruly inmates over there, and we had just got tasers, and so I love to go over there with my taser because I never had to shoot one of them. But when you scream at them and you get that red light bouncing on their face and their eyes and everything, it scared the crud out of them. And from then on, they weren't a problem anymore. And so I never had to shoot any of them over there. So I think we had to shoot one time, but it wasn't me. I've been very blessed to be able to use my taser. Had to only shoot one person. Now, drive stunning, law enforcement knows what that means. That was probably 2,000 of those. But the taser's been a great tool for us in law enforcement. If we had had these things back when I first got out on patrol, I wouldn't have all the problems in my hands and fingers and knuckles and fractures, because back then it was just old school football playing fights with everybody. But I've been here for a long time, obviously. I've seen a lot of changes, a lot of great changes in this county and the sheriff's office, and be able to help push this agency into the progressive, more modernized law enforcement agency in the state of Texas. And we wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for all of y'all's help and the past courts in the last few years as well to help keep us in the right direction. Having good civil attorneys, and the best thing about it, I think, for us, for the sheriff's office, is not doing the stupid things where you have to have a whole bunch more attorneys to take care of things. Policies and procedures we're putting in place for reasons, and we stand by them, and we'll put them against like any other agencies in Texas because we're very firm with what we do. We appreciate everything. Matt, I really appreciate you being up where you're at now, because it's the environment is so toxic free with issues. And we had I wish we had a buffet for y'all out there the other day when everybody had like 30 people out there. I thought they was gonna be like NASCAR, they was gonna change tires and change their oil for everybody. At least couldn't clean the windshield, it was okay, it was all good. But I think that his office has really grown to something that's really respectable, and we really appreciate. It's pretty much all I can say for the rest of the day, but YouTube will probably block me for everything else. But thank y'all for everything. I remember Mickey was starting in the jail. I remember he was with the city. Barry's always been a farmer, and Jeff, when I first met him, he was a farmer, right? He was a Midway fish farm. Yeah. And that's when I first met Jeff. So I appreciate all of y'all, and I know there's times we've always had little problems, but get around it, work together. Wichita County has always been good to be known as a county family, and we appreciate working with everybody, and in all the other offices as well, the JPs especially, in our district court. So thank you all. I'm gonna be quiet.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you.
If you get bored, break out your drum set and give me a call.
My wife crazy still.
All right, do we have any other public comment? Okay, it is 10:17 and public comment is closed. Let's move to the consent agenda. There are 7 items on consent this morning. Does anyone have any questions or comments on any of the items?
Real quickly, I'm changing those wording.
On number 2?
No, 6 and 7.
Oh,
Those were just, I was trying to, what were they changing? Was it just the,
so the, and I'll let Van step in if I mess this up, both 6 and 7, the initial quote that came in from Enterprise on those that the court approved an amount for, in the course of upfit and the final delivery of the vehicles, there were some changes in those amounts, which is requiring us to go back and
okay, just a
change them.
little dollar amount?
Yes, and
I couldn't get it open this morning, that's why.
yeah, that's what it is, and he has been working with them to get a new process underway so that we get a hard number that we know we're not gonna go over, so we don't have to keep doing this.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion by Commissioner Beecham, seconded by Commissioner Fincannon to approve the consent agenda. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or any of the items?
Judge, may I ask on number 3, is that going to be advertised by Purdue, or is that going to be advertised by Wichita County?
It's by Wichita County, Matt.
Okay, so can we amend that motion for that one to
And authorize.
include advertisement? Yes, sir.
Yes. Since Commissioner Beecham, it's your motion, do you have any objection to that?
No.
So now that one will read. Motion to approve the sale of 3 Wichita County owned properties, being property ID numbers 137894, 105693, and 124387, to be conveyed as is by deed without warranty, and authorize advertisement. Of properties. Okay. Any other comments on the motion or any of the items? Okay, that motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 1, in general business, review and approve the regular bills for payment. Verify payroll taxes have been filed, and authorize county treasurer to disperse payroll and/or bills within 72 hours via U.S. mail, FedEx, UPS, electronically, or be picked up and acknowledged by a ledger signature in the treasurer's office.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Fincannon, seconded by Commissioner Beecham, to approve bills for payment, verify tax have been filed, and authorize dispersal of payroll and/or bills. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? Motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 2, discuss, consider, and/or take action to approve and ratify the minutes of the August 19, 2025 regular session and the August 22nd, 2025 special session.
Motion approved.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Beecham, seconded by Commissioner Mahler, to approve and ratify the minutes of both listed sessions. Do you have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, that motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 3, discuss, consider, and/or take action to make an appointment to fill the unexpired term of the county sheriff.
Judge, I'd make that motion that we appoint Will Rutledge to that position through the remaining term of Sheriff Duke. And I guess would end December 31st of 2026, or?
Yep, that's correct.
Second.
I'd like to hear from Will.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if he comes up here and says,
No. I'd just like to ask you straight up, what's your plan for the future? What do you see going on in the sheriff's office, and what things you gonna do different?
Staff for the last 8 years with Sheriff Duke.
Mhm.
I look for the transition to be smooth moving forward. I don't see any major things that need to be corrected. There may be some tweaks to some policies from differences from sheriffs. But moving forward, I think to continue what we've done in the past 16 years, and I've been part of in the command staff for the last 8 years.
Okay.
I'll say this, sort of building off of something that Sheriff said earlier. I've talked to my counterparts in a number of counties who either they've got poor relations on their commissioner's court, or poor relations with the county auditor's office, or in almost a worst case scenario, bad relationship with the sheriff. And the sheriff's kind of on an island. The SO is doing their own thing, not working as a team. And I was always happy that I was here and didn't have to worry about any of that, because as you said, you've made it a priority for you and your team to view us as all part of the same team going towards the same direction. And so I know that Chief Rutledge, you've been a part of that for an extended period of time. And so, I'm confident and I'm hopeful that during at least the remainder of this appointed term, that will continue, and I know that it will.
Yes, sir.
I'll say this for Will, having worked with you every day on that LEC project, no one put in more hours, more effort to make that thing what it is, so I appreciate the effort that you
Thank
put
you.
in on that. That speaks volumes.
Thank you.
I would like to say one quick thing. This is mainly for the citizens, this was the court's decision how they would go about appointing somebody to be the next sheriff in this interim. As far as I know, there hasn't been any citizen input calling upset about having Will Rutledge fill that role. are themselves putting their name out there and saying they want to have a different system to pick this sheriff. You know, at first, and Will knows when this first started, this thing was going to happen. I said, I don't know that we should just appoint somebody, because I don't know that it'll make the public seem like we're picking somebody over somebody else. It's a citizen's right to pick the sheriff, to vote for the sheriff and elect a new sheriff. But there's nobody come to court here and ask us to research the way we do it and take applicants and do all that. Right now, the number 2 man for the sheriff, which was duly elected, was David Duke. His pick has been his number 2 has been Will Rutledge. And you've been running the sheriff's department, there hasn't been any problems. So I think as a court, we are doing by far the best thing by putting you in that position at this point. So I just want to make sure the public understands, this is not like we're hiding anything. We've posted it, we've put it out there. Nobody has come to this court to say anything. So
The only feedback I've gotten is positive, so people calling or sending me text to encourage
Thank you.
appointing you, so.
I just wanted, we try to be as transparent as we can.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I have been with y'all, you know, I come here every Tuesday and every other Friday, and
Whether you want to be or not.
yeah. And I think we have a good working relationship. If I haven't been able to find or have the answer for you, I found the answer for you. I think we've got along real good. And I look forward to continuing the effort we have, the system we have.
And Will, I've always appreciated the fact that you've been on top of payroll, understood it, stayed in abreast with it. We hadn't had that prior to you, and that just was a good feeling to know that we knew where we stood all the time, and that was a great thing that you brought to us when you took that position. So thank you very much for that. And Kurt reminded me, you know, we don't hear, I don't especially, I know there's day-to-day things that occur in the jail. That's a big animal and just a lot to get your arms around. Kurt has the same process and younger folks over there, but you just don't hear anything. You know, it's smooth, it's transitional outside the stuff y'all are aware of that goes on. I mean, but that says a lot for the way you operate and the way that you stay on top of it and be proactive about things. So we just appreciate all of that coming to, and I have all the confidence in the world you'll do a great job.
Thank you.
No news is good news.
Yeah, no news is good news. And I also want to thank Sheriff Duke for hiring me 16 years ago and bringing me up. But most of all, I want to thank my wife, Casey, for the last 33 years standing behind me in law enforcement. Pretty tough to do that. So, thank you.
Judge Will has always been good about, you call him and he's very responsive and he's very understanding, and you just feel like you're on a really good communication level with him. And, you know, law enforcement's not always chasing bad guys and locking people up. There's a lot of things that the community needs to help out, make them safer, make them right. Will's always involved in that and always very receptive of stepping up to help us. He helped us just a couple of weeks ago on a little deal to move some equipment down the road in a very dangerous deal. And we're gonna try to get that rectified, but until we do, it's nice to have somebody you can call on and say, yeah, we'll come help you. We don't want anything bad to happen. You know, that's serving the public. That's what it's about. Thank you, Will.
David had the foresight to put good men like you and Patrick in place, and I just appreciate that so much. Patrick's bends over backwards to go out of his way to get anything done, and David, it speaks a lot for your leadership, and we just appreciate that, and we'll look forward to things continuing on as good as they are.
Yes, sir.
I will just ask one thing to continue from Sheriff Duke's tenure. He knows that my heart rate goes up whenever I see his name show up on my caller.
I'll try not to call you too many
First
times.
words out of his mouth are always "Nothing's on fire."
So continue that
yeah,
process.
so I'll keep that down.
I'd like to say one comment also. A lot of people don't understand how, whenever you're in law enforcement, how important it is to remember who's by your side. And Will touched on it, and I should have. Our wives. My wife Kelly has been at foot every step away. I know his wife Casey's been the same thing. McFerrin, where's he at? There he is. His wife, same way. I don't know if she lets him out of the house at night after midnight. But he will show up though. But it is a very factor to understand that you can get consumed in this job so much, you forget about family and friends, and that was a hard lesson for me, because as a new sheriff, I was trying to fix a lot of things. And be able to have people under you like the two chiefs is impeccable. To have people that you can trust, don't worry about, they make the right decisions, and it's always in the best interest of the county and the taxpayers. It's not about, if it's good on us, we have to get out every night for the next 3 nights because something bad's going on, because someone's got sideways or barricaded in the house, and the different things we've dealt with just in this last weekend, the deaths, the things that happen, major crimes, we go out on these major crimes and pursuits and things like that to help make sure to mitigate the problems and circumstances, and see what kind of damage we may have on one of our vehicles or something, because sometimes we make sure we're doing the right thing. So that's what I want to say. I appreciate Will and Mac for the things they've always done. It's a sheriff's office is the biggest budget, it's the biggest ship, and there's a lot of icebergs we can hit. We just turn away and let somebody else drive away with the thing and crash it and sink it, and it can happen that way very easily. And I will apologize to the judge, because I do call him, I say, we haven't shot and killed anybody, everybody's alive, no one got in jail, nothing's on fire. It's always it. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I'll start out with a text that all's good, then I'll call you.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Will.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't move it down to the bottom. I was gonna move that one to the bottom.
Motion to table.
That was not a real motion.
No. The motion's already been made.
All right, so we have a motion by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Fincannon, to appoint Will Rutledge to fill the unexpired term of the county sheriff, which, as we talked about before, will be through December 31st of 2026, and election will take place, primaries in March, and then general in November to fill after that. So that's the motion. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? I mean, that's okay. Then that motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Condolences. All right, item number 4 is discuss, consider, and/or take action to appoint 3 members to the Homelessness Advisory Committee. Now that the City of Wichita Falls has approved the resolution, committee is ready to get rolling. I'll remind y'all, we had 3 different slots that the Commissioners Court was responsible for filling. A member of the Wichita County Commissioners Court, the Wichita County Judge or his designee, and a resident of Wichita County. Thought about this long and hard, and I'm going to suggest, and I will make the motion, that we nominate the following 3 folks. So the member of the Wichita County Commissioners Court be Commissioner Jeff Watts. The resident of Wichita County be Commissioner Mark Beecham. And then obviously we would have a quorum issue if the county judge is then there. And to make my designee, an official designee, Steve Sparks, to serve on that advisory committee. I think that's a good, I think that both Commissioner Watts and Commissioner Beecham have shown they have a real heart for this issue, a sobriety to approaching the issue, and some thoughtfulness, and with both of what they do and the liaison that they are for the county offices, I think that they will be, I think that they both make sense on this. And then of course Steve Sparks is the head of Faith Mission.
I will second that.
Okay.
Judge, I asked that we be notified of meetings where we can have a representative there too.
So yeah, we will, in addition to y'all, Chief, I guess starting September 1st, we'll be sure. We will make sure that y'all are notified. We also have a handful of other county offices that we're going to ask to be present for those meetings as issue experts, and if there's implementation that's going to need to result, yeah, we just need that seamless there. All right, so the motion that I made, seconded by Commissioner Fincannon, is to appoint Commissioner Watts, Commissioner Beecham, and Steve Sparks as the county judge designee to the Homelessness Advisory Committee. Are there any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, that motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Actually, I guess I should have asked if y'all were willing to serve, but I assume
Too late.
yeah. Yeah, ask forgiveness, not
That's
permission.
one way to do it.
Item number 5, discuss, consider, and/or take action on nominations for the Wichita Appraisal District Board of Directors positions and approval of a resolution in conjunction with those nominations. As the backup information had, there are 2, as part of the legislative changes that happened in 23 that provided for a number of elected positions to that board of directors. They had to stagger some of the terms. And so there are 2 appointed positions that were 1-year terms that will expire at the end of this year. We, as an entity that's a taxing entity in Wichita County, can nominate a candidate for each position. Once all of the entities, including us, report our nominations, there will be a vote on that that will happen later this year. I will say, so one of the, let me find it. There are 2 members of the board who are on 1-year terms. One of them was a county nominee previously, and that's Shelby Womack. And so I think I would encourage us to strongly consider nominating her to serve again. And as far as I have been told, she is willing. So we will nominate today, and then votes will be later.
Judge, do you oppose us splitting that, or you just want to do Shelby?
We can certainly, because we are able to nominate 1 for each position, we can certainly do 2 different people if we want to. We're
Both
not
are,
voting on anything today. So.
you know, both have great experience, I think bring a lot to the table, and well known in our communities, one in Burke and Jeff and Shelby in Iowa Park. So I would make that motion that we nominate both of those, and that the emails I've received have indicated that most entities have done that.
Who's the second?
Jeff Kent
And Shelby Womack.
and Shelby Womack.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Fincannon, to nominate Jeff Kent and Shelby Womack for the Wichita Appraisal District Board of Directors positions and approve a resolution in conjunction with those nominations. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, that motion's before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 6, discuss, consider, and/or take action to approve the attached list of combined precincts for the upcoming November 2025 constitutional amendment election. I'll ask our elections administrator, Robin Fincannon, to come up. And as I'm sure y'all will be shocked to know, she's got a PowerPoint presentation.
Yay, good.
Anytime I come, I'm bringing a PowerPoint.
All right, Robin, the floor is yours.
Okay. Let's go over, I'm not used to not having my computer. Okay. Countywide polling place program. We do participate in the countywide polling place program, so we can vote anywhere in the county. That's what we standardly have had for the last for a long time. The previous election code said that you're required to have on election day at least 50% election day locations based on how many precincts you have. So we have 40 precincts, so we have been required to have 20 election day locations. With that being said, the other election code combining certain precincts had a clause in there that said that if you participated in the countywide polling program, you were excluded from combining. So we were not eligible to do that. So again, we had 40 precincts, 20 locations.
with this recent 89th regular session, there has been SB 985, which has made a change to the combining precincts part of the election code that's effective at September 1st, where people that participate in the countywide polling program can combine precincts. So they've made a change to where if you have fewer than 3,000 registered voters in a precinct, you can combine with another precinct to help alleviate expenses for your election day locations. So if you combine precincts less than 3,000, you can't go over 5,000, that will shrink your 40 down, and then you have half of that. So it's done we're doing it to avoid unreasonable expenditures for election equipment, supplies, and personnel.
Just for clarification, the precincts aren't going away.
No, this is
This is
strictly
just-
for an election day location that we still have 40 precincts. They're still all numbered the same. This is just to help with election day locations, combining precincts for the purpose of avoiding unreasonable expenditures, things like that.
And can a precinct 302 go to a precinct 404?
Actually, you can.
Okay.
That is not how I've proposed it.
Okay.
But talking to the state of Texas legal, you can combine because everything is still reported individually. But you can combine cross commissioners. I did not do that though,
Okay.
however. So anyway, population requirements, you can't go over more than 5,000, so less than 3,000, no more than 5,000. And then it removed the verbiage that people that are in countywide polling precincts can't participate, so we are now eligible after this legislative session. This was a PowerPoint that they went over at the law conference that we were just at. So basically it is if you have fewer than 3,000, you can combine. The limitation is no more than 5. The purpose is to avoid unreasonable expenditures. It does apply to special elections. It would apply to this election. It does apply to primary elections. However, for the primary election, y'all are not the one that makes the decision. It's the county chairs for the parties. I think they are interested in combining. It's an election day expense for them, so I do think they are interested in combining. And then it also applies to the general election for November. Different ballot styles, you can. It doesn't make any difference. And then reports are maintained and reported by the actual election precinct. So that's why you can do different commissioners, because everything is still reported as it is now. So, okay, based on what we have now, let's look at Commissioner 1, Precinct 1, Precinct 1's. This is the total number of registered voters per precinct. So my suggested combination is 101, 102, 105, 106, 109, which would only equal 2,994 voters. That would result taking the 9 precincts down to 5 for precinct 1. Precinct 2, pretty much the same thing, although I would just combine 201 and 203 for a total of 4845, and then combine the rest of the 201s to get 1,777, still resulting in 5 precincts. So instead of having the 11 precincts, we would have the 5 precincts for 2. Same thing with 3. Combine what we can, not going over the 5,000, ending in 5 precincts total. Precinct 4, same thing, combine what we can, and then resulting in 6 precincts based on the numbers that I can combine. So what does that mean overall? That means a combined total precincts of 21, so election day polling locations would equal 10.5, we would go to, it would be 11. So we have 20, so we would be wanting to drop it down to 11. So that would be removing 9 locations total. All remaining locations would have adequate number of voting machines available. The same consolidated method would be used in the primary if the parties choose to do it. The duration, what you're approving today is only for a single election. You're not approving this for any other election because I'll have to come back and do this every time. Precinct 1 locations, what we are looking at is TxDOT, Western Hills, and Sykes Lake. Now keep in mind, when I say election locations, I have to have an equal number in each commissioner precinct. I can't have more than double. So if I have 3 and 1, I can't have 6 and 2. So this is just kind of going through where the 11 would be located. Precinct 2, we would have the building in Burke, and then FBC Shepherd campus. Precinct 3, we would have the Iowa Park Tax Office, the courthouse, and Region 9. Let me talk a little bit about the courthouse. We have never been an election day location at the courthouse. SB 2753, I think, is the big one that's coming, where if you are an early voting location, you are also an election day location. So it's coming whether we like it or not. I would like to start it with this election, see how it goes. Go ahead and, smaller election, let's go ahead and do it. So I would like to propose the courthouse as being an election day location because say it's coming whether we like it or not. Precinct 4 would be the Precinct 4 building, Connect Church, which was the former Mercy Church, it's the one on McNeil, and then Allendale Baptist. That would be a combination of all of our offices that we have. Now, locations not being utilized. Precinct 1, we had University United Methodist, which was on the corner of, it's by MSU, corner of Hampstead, I think, and Taft. Wesley United, which is over on Weeks, I think, which is not far from TxDOT, to be real honest with you. Both of those, in my opinion, can filter to TxDOT. Sykes Lake, I didn't have Sykes Lake on the other one. Sykes Lake is an option. They just have not got back with me yet, so they're not confirmed. Everything else is confirmed. Sykes Lake is not confirmed. And then we're getting rid of CAMA Volunteer Fire Department, which I feel like they can filter to Iowa Park or Electra. Precinct 2, Liberty Baptist, I think they can filter to Region 9. I don't remember if I had Region 9 on the other one because I don't know if Region 9 has got back with me either. Cameron Gardens, that would be another one, but I think they could filter to the courthouse. Precinct 3, Martin Luther King, 10th and Broad, I think they could both filter to the courthouse since we're an election day location now. Faith Baptist and First Baptist in Iowa Park, I think they can filter to the tax office in Iowa Park. Precinct 4, Life Church, I think they can filter to Connect Church. Hawes Road can filter to Iowa Park, and then First Baptist in Electra is actually just being replaced with Precinct 4 in Electra. We're just trying to not move. We're trying to not move equipment as much too. Going forward, election day, early voting locations have to also be election day locations. A lot of these churches, early voting is not an option. So we're just gonna try to keep, if it's gonna be the tax office in Iowa Park for early voting, it's gonna be the tax office in Iowa Park for election day. That's what's coming down the pike, so we might as well go ahead and do it now. Okay, here's the numbers. I know it's hard to see, but it kind of talks about, I went all the way back to 2022 primary just so you could see turnout per location. Some of the bigger numbers at the bottom are just going to filter, in my opinion, up. So, 10th and Broad, for example, does have a good turnout. I think they're going to filter to the courthouse. Your Faith and First Baptist and Iowa Park are going to filter to the tax office. So some of these are just going to filter somewhere else. Some of them just had low numbers no matter what election it was. Cameron Gardens doesn't have a huge amount. Liberty didn't have a huge amount. Hawes Church, KMA Fire Department, those kind of things. But the rest of them, there's something fairly close that they can filter to. So I don't know that it's going to be a huge deterrent for people to not vote. It's just going to be a cost savings and less equipment moving around for us. So that's kind of the numbers. And then I'm glad you asked because I do have a map. This is where all of the locations are plotted throughout the county. So Iowa Park is the far left, Burke is far north, and the rest pretty much Iowa Park, and then the rest is all in pretty much Wichita. Now, how far would someone have to drive? I'm glad you asked. So I took the farthest person at the bottom of the county. They would roughly have to drive 17 miles to get to Electra, 18 miles to get to Iowa Park. I took the farthest northest person, 13 and 15 respectively, wherever they want to go. And then the farthest to the west or to the east is 11 and 13. So nobody has to drive more than 25 miles. And that's ideally what you're wanting, is you don't want anyone to have to drive more than 25 miles to get to a voting location. Keep in mind, this is election day only. People still have ample opportunity to vote early voting. So this is just election day locations. It has nothing to do with, going around and locking the box. I look at the auditor for that. So this is just election day locations. So anyway, that's pretty much my spiel. Is it a huge amount of cost savings? I'm gonna be real honest with you. It's not, monetarily, it's not. It basically is time and energy prepping the cages. It's entity inconvenience. There's entities that we won't have to use. Wear and tear on machines, transporting them in the cages, that kind of thing. Fuel for delivery and pickup of all the stuff, road and bridge manpower that helps me deliver all of this stuff, and then poll worker pay, honestly, for an election day is estimated about $4,000. So it's not a huge savings, but I would like to do it if at all possible.
It's not a huge cost savings. I will argue that it's a huge resource savings from the standpoint of we're already struggling to have enough poll workers and enough people that are willing to serve in this capacity.
Yes,
I don't see that getting better. I only see that getting worse.
correct.
And this helps us consolidate and
Yes. Yeah. Election day, you're required to have three people per location. That's minimum. So this smaller election, we can get by with 3 people. A bigger election, you're not gonna, 3 people ain't gonna cut it. 2 people have to go outside with a curbside voter. You can't leave 1 person inside, not when it's a bigger election. So, you're by law required to have 3 at each location on election day though.
I also think that from the standpoint of once, and I know it's not effective for this election, but this shows foresight on your part of getting us ready for what we're gonna have next year when
Yes.
you're do early voting, you have to do election day.
Yes. Mhm.
We're already struggling to find enough locations, and that's gonna make that a lot harder, and so I think that this is also a savings from that standpoint of,
Yeah.
let's get out in front of that and
Yes.
be proactive.
I'd like to roll with it this election and see how it all goes, yeah.
Robin, what, on the Kamei location closure, what those options are, I will park in,
Electra, Iowa Park Tax Office, and Precinct 4 barn. That's where we would have the election day locations, and it's, say, 17 and 18 miles, depending on,
Where's the early voting location gonna be?
same place. Mhm.
Same.
Early voting is Precinct 2, Precinct 4 barn, Tax Office, the courthouse, and then we have the mall,
See,
or the
it's not-
early voting.
It's not very far from KMA to Owl Park or KMA to Electric.
yeah, it's just elderly, you know, we've
And
got
there's just not
community.
What's our
There's no
typical KMA
turnout.
voter election day turnout?
KMA is 176 was this last one,
Presidential.
101 in the primary, and 197 in November of 2022.
Robin, you
Huge
mentioned
number of
different ballots earlier. What was that about? I didn't understand.
That means when you combine, you can still have different ballot styles. So if you vote for, let's say that there's more next year, for example, there's going to be way more things on the ballot that maybe not everybody that lives everywhere can vote on.
But for us, it would be just a different screen. in
Yes,
other words.
yeah,
Okay.
the voters aren't gonna know any different, they're gonna
Yeah.
get the ballot that they're assigned, yeah.
Okay.
It's just when you're combining, the way the state does it, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the little spiel. Combining is your roommates. So basically, you still have everything separate, but you still live together. Consolidating, which we are not eligible to do, is you are married, everything is the same, you would report it as one thing, and we're not doing consolidation, we are doing combining, so.
I'm thoroughly confused. It looks good.
And I will, for a member of the public just watching this who's just curious about it as a voter, nothing that you see, experience on election day, this doesn't change any of that. It's not
Correct.
changing your precinct, it's not changing, you can still go and vote anywhere in the county.
Correct,
All of that stays the same.
yes.
The impact for them is just gonna be the number of locations. So I just wanted to, I know you made that
Yes.
point, I just wanted to reiterate that this is
And-
not,
And this is just for this election.
Yes,
Yeah, if we're in a presidential election, it's likely to be back to the same.
yeah, and we can reevaluate,
Yeah.
100%,
Evaluate
yes, this is
everyone.
only, you're only approving it for this upcoming November election.
Right.
And then say the party will determine for the primary, the party will determine for the runoff, if there is one, and then I will be back in here in November.
Because there may be a revolt in KMA if they
Well,
don't have the
I was gonna say-
election.
that's why I think that doing this for this election,
Yeah.
makes a ton of sense to see how it
See how it
works,
works.
get feedback,
Yeah.
look at the numbers. Because sometimes we think there will be a pushback and it ends up,
Right,
enough people go over the course of 2 weeks to Wichita or whatever to do
Sure.
it, that's fine.
right.
Or we
And-
don't think there will be an issue and
There is an
There is
issue,
one.
correct. And we will post, every location will have something posted on their door telling them this is not an election day location, and it will tell them where the closest ones are and tell them how many miles away it is,
Okay.
so,
Getting the word out's gonna be the most important thing, I would think.
Right.
Just letting people know, cause that
Right.
may, I would see where this would boost early voting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
thank
I
you.
think he beat you. I think he beat you.
Okay,
Looks good.
it's all right.
I was waiting on somebody else to.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Fincannon, seconded by Commissioner Beecham, to approve the list of combined precincts for the upcoming November 2025 constitutional amendment election. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? That motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Robin. Item number 7, discuss, consider, and/or take action to approve Mars Patriot construction proposal number 18 for the renovation of the men's and women's restrooms at the Iowa Park Annex to bring them into ADA compliance, to be paid from previously allocated permanent improvement funds with lines determined by the county auditor.
Yeah, as I
Commissioner
mentioned last week, we had our final construction meeting last week before finishing the project. We have some funds that are still in the project that we set aside. I wanted to do this from the outset, but looking at the ADA issues, I thought it was gonna be way more costly than the solutions that we came up with from the last minute. I think it makes sense. It's the only thing we didn't touch in the building, the only thing that hasn't been updated. So we're not going all out with finishes or anything. So we're doing a vinyl floor, some tile backsplash behind the sinks, replacing toilets, toilet petitions, fixing some wall issues. So I think it's the right move to go ahead and make this ADA compliant, so.
Yeah, the price seemed very reasonable compared to what I was worried it might be.
Yeah, I was concerned at the outset it would be 40,000 or more based on some other work that we've done, so. But keeping those finishes down
Yeah.
helps it come in quite a bit lower
And this would all be paid for out of contingency?
out of
the
contingencies
fund that's
of the
in budget.
project.
And you did say new petitions.
The new petitions, yeah,
Those are expensive.
yeah, that's a
The
different
new
purchase.
petitions, Mick, were in the previous consent
in the
agenda.
consent
Yeah.
agenda.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, I put
Not
those
separate.
in, no, I put those in as a separate item so I could go ahead and get them ordered, so. Irregardless, Rick and I were gonna change the petitions anyway, so, but now they're be designed correctly for ADA compliance, so.
Yeah.
Motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion by Commissioner Beecham, seconded by Commissioner Fincannon, to approve Mars Patriot construction proposal number 18 for the renovation of men's and women's restrooms at the Iowa Park Annex, bring them into ADA compliance to be paid from previously allocated permanent improvement funds. Have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, that motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 8, receive update on courthouse renovations and county courthouse annexes. Commissioner Beecham.
Well, now that we've added an additional part of the project to Iowa Park, we're not done yet. We're moving in tomorrow. Furniture's being installed today. They had a lot of it installed yesterday. The only thing that's lacking, as far as construction is concerned, is tile backsplash in the kitchen. They had to get the countertops in. They were put in Friday afternoon. So just waiting on tile backsplash. Our crews got out yesterday and improved the alleyway, so we have a nice crushed concrete driveway coming up to the back of the facility now. Everything's looking good. Should be,
Mark, it's amazing how just straightening that alley up cleaned that facility up. I
yeah,
mean,
it looks,
really helped.
it made a huge impact on the whole overall look of
Yeah,
everything.
I looked
so.
at it, I drove it this morning, and it's very functional, and it works good, looks good. Helped it a bunch.
So next week, on September 2nd, the doors will open for business,
Except for the tax
except for
office.
except for the tax office.
I saw Katrina had done a video, y'all may have seen it, about getting the key. And I don't know who else was in there with her, some other adult leaders or whatever, but they were very proud to have got the key.
It's good, they're excited. They should
You
be.
can actually find it.
That's just a temporary key.
Yeah.
So, yep, very pleased with the final result of the project, so it looks good.
Good deal. All right, any other questions or comments on courthouse renovations, county courthouse annexes? Okay. Well, we would normally go into closed session here. However, there was some information I was waiting on from our council with Altman that just didn't come in time. And it's important information for the purposes of our discussion. Do y'all have any objection to tabling the closed session item and then its related open session item until next week?
We love to table stuff.
I know we do. All right, with no objection, we will table the closed session item and its associated open session item until next week. So with that, it is 11 o'clock and court is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.